Hello again, welcome back to Lateral Podcast, episode 2. We hope you enjoyed our very first episode. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter and check out our new Spotify that just came out. And don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud. So today we're gonna do our very first debate. Isn't that right?
Yep.
All right. But before we do our debate and before we say what our topic's gonna be, we have some news to go over while we were away for a little bit. Do you want to
So,
start off?
yeah, I'll start off. So, if you haven't seen already, somehow, Tim Tebow signs with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end.
Officially.
Officially
Yeah.
signed, yes. Which is
Breaking. Oh,
weird.
sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Okay, you can go. You can go.
Breaking news says that rumors about Julio Jones trading.
Mm-hmm.
I, as a personal Falcons fan, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Don't think it's a smart move. I think he still has great potential not potential, but I think he has great skills for that team, especially with Matt Ryan thrown to him.
Mm-hmm.
He'd do a lot better than if he were to go on the Giants, Daniel Jones, or Drew Lock in the Broncos, in my opinion.
And some random news that no one cares about. QB Jeff Driscoll signs with the Texans. No, I just think it's weird that there's another QB signing in Houston. I mean, just
Yeah.
who knows. But anyways,
Well, I think we should talk small news. Brian Hoyer also
oh
re-signed
yeah,
with the Patriots.
Brian
I think
Hoyer
that's
resigns the Patriots. Long-term
I
veteran. Well,
don't
not
know how I feel
long-term, but
about that.
I mean, back third,
Whatever.
fourth string practice squad guy.
Well, I think that's enough news for now.
Yep.
All right, so now going into the debate.
This is
Uh,
wait. Okay, this is a special debate. First of all, we
yeah, it's a
this is a Madden.
highly
This is a highly anticipated debate, but to make it a little more difficult, we're playing
we're gonna be
we're
playing
playing
Madden
a 15-minute Madden game, 15-minute quarter
while we.
Madden game while I debate.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch that, go on to our YouTube, which should be releasing soon. Just
We'll tweet about it.
Lateral
We'll
cast.
tweet about it.
Yeah, we'll tweet
Yeah.
about it. So follow us on Twitter at
So make
Lateral
sure.
Pod. But
Exactly.
anyways, I'm playing as the Steelers. Max is playing
I'm
as the
playing as the
Colts.
Colts, and if you can't tell, our quarterbacks have a big part of what our debate's gonna be, and our debate it's highly common, highly talked about. It's gonna be we're gonna start simple. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? We'll get right into that soon, but before we start, I want to say that we're trying to get into a schedule soon, and but this week, since it's our first week, we're just doing a little random. We're starting Monday. We're gonna have a set schedule that I think we should talk about, and I think we mentioned it last time, but every Wednesdays we're gonna do a debate like this. We're just starting a little early, and then next podcast we're gonna be doing a little trivia game, have fun, and then next Friday, like next week, we will talk about fantasy, and then we'll go off from that. Try to have a weekly
Yep.
schedule routine.
So
So
make sure to
we're gonna
tune
start
in.
this.
Follow
Mhm.
up
So
on everything. SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter. Four
yeah,
Horsemen.
so we're gonna start this Madden game, but
Start a Madden game and start the debate.
start the
So let's
debate.
see. What do you want to start off
So
with?
I think we should just start with
Are
the
Eli
basic
Manning's
question.
stats? Is Eli Manning
I
Hall of
mean,
Famer? Just simple answer, yes
what do
or
you
no.
think?
What do you? Okay, I will say, should he be? Probably yes. I'm gonna say yes. Actually, I'm gonna say yes. Is he gonna
I
be?
think,
Yes.
yeah,
Both.
I think I don't want him to make it. He deserves it, in my opinion, and he's gonna make it, but I don't want him to because, I mean, yeah, going off stats wise, you have 2 rings, which most quarterbacks loathe. I
Hmm.
mean, who wouldn't? Again, one of them being against, of course, the 2007 undefeated Patriots. That is a hell of a accolade to have. But his stats, regular season, weren't that impressive.
Mediocre at best, I guess. Say.
He, he's had I mean, longevity or whatever that word is.
Yeah,
He has
Yep.
had a stable career, I think. He's had a very stable career, but however, he had a .500 win-loss record when he retired.
117 to
I mean,
117. I mean, it's
yeah,
not
it's.
bad. Worse records have happened, but
I mean, he's led the league in interceptions 3 times. And so his regular season stats are okay, Hall of Fame worthy, no. But then you get in the postseason, it's all different. He beat multiple teams. I mean, during their Super Bowl run, he beat multiple impressive teams. He beat Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. He beat Matt. He destroyed the Falcons and Matt Ryan his 2007, I believe. No, wait, no, 2011. Yeah, no.
hmm,
Who else did they? Well, and of course they beat the
Patriots.
Patriots twice. I mean, and given how long his career's been, he is. Let me see. He's ninth in all-time passing yards. But I mean, you can just take into consideration that's just how long he's played in the league.
Hmm. Ninth in
He's
all-time
not that.
passing touchdowns.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, he's not that mobile. He's
But is the one stat passer rating. He's tied
passer rating.
50th in passer rating, which with 84, what's that? 84.1. It's not bad. I mean, I guess, passer rating doesn't matter too much just because the young guys like Mahomes and Deshaun Watson lead that stat line just because of their
Oh yeah,
youngness, but
but he
still, I
has
think
had
it's
multiple.
pretty.
Yeah, but he has had multiple. Should I say mediocre seasons? I don't think he's that consistent of a quarterback. He's a good. I wouldn't call him elite. I think he's a decent quarterback. One of the best Giants quarterbacks in my opinion.
Yeah,
I will say that. But throughout his career, he's never really been that consistent.
I
You know,
agree.
along with the 2 rings, he also had the 2 Super Bowl MVPs,
Hmm.
which is impressive. He's had a huge impact on the franchise, but in the league, there's a big difference there. Like,
Yeah.
example being, I don't know, I'd say like Michael Vick. He had a huge impact on the Falcons, I'd say.
Hmm.
But, well, actually, no, that is
Just
a
on the
bad
league in
example.
general, I think. Not just the
No, I think,
Falcons.
yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad example, my bad.
No, I mean, it was a good
Like,
example, but just,
well, no, he changed the game of mobile quarterback, so I
yeah.
guess I can't really say that. But they're like, you can like make a difference on your team, but mean nothing in the league, and that is exactly what Eli Manning is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, kind of like Matthew Stafford, honestly. Like, the first good
Exactly.
quarterback they've had, the Lions have had, did
Yeah.
he win any postseason games? No.
I
He
mean, he had
won.
Calvin Johnson, but I
Well,
still don't
sure.
blame him because everything else was not in his favor. No O line, horrible defense. I mean, his other receivers are basically not that good. He had Calvin
Hmm.
Johnson, but Calvin Johnson gets double teamed. What's he gonna do?
Well, I mean, it's Calvin Johnson, but
I know, but like
no, I know what you mean. You want
can't
to?
always outmaneuver the pressure.
Yep. You want to get into our comparative players?
I mean,
What do you want to go
go
to?
ahead, but
Okay, yeah.
before I do that, I wanna mention this interesting stat I was able to find on Pro Football Reference. Um, while going through Eli Manning and all of his stats before this, I happened to look at this QB Hall of Fame meter where Pro Football Reference posted, and they make a list of all the QBs and their track record of how far they can be in the Hall, not how far they can be, but how close they are to Hall of
Their
Fame.
likeliness in the Hall of Fame,
Their
basically.
likeliness, yeah, exactly. Now the average, and I don't know what they're measuring this off of, but Hall of Fame meter, the average Hall of Fame quarterback has a score of 104. And people like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they're like 250. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, 170, 160. Johnny Unitas,
And you
160.
see guys like
Joe
Jared
Mike,
Goff who are like
who
16 or 15 or something,
exactly.
right?
That's just
Just
yeah,
for
that's just
just
an
for like
example of
reference on, yeah, on
yeah,
how
that's how wide it is.
yeah.
And when you go on Eli Manning, he has an 80. He has a score of 83, which is like 20 below the average Hall of Fame quarterback. Now there are exceptions. Like there have been quarterbacks who are under the I wouldn't say recommended, but average. Like Joe Namath, Kurt Warner. Currently Ben Roethlisberger's under it. Matt Ryan's under it. Philip Rivers is just under it. So does that matter? No, but it just shows what Pro Football Reference thinks of Matt Ryan. I
Yeah.
mean, not Matt Ryan.
Eli Manning, yeah.
Eli Manning, because he's below a good amount of star QBs.
Mm-hmm.
Because his regular season stats bring him down.
Yeah.
Those yeah. But he's kind of had a similar career to, I'd say, multiple people, especially in his draft class, and which include Ben Roethlisberger and even Philip Rivers.
Just I need to interrupt for a second. If you're listening to this podcast and not watching, Max just doinked an extra point right off of the upright. Just thought that was a little funny little side fact.
Okay, getting back
Getting back. Sorry.
Talk. So, as you know, Eli Manning was in the same draft class as Philip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger in 2004. And he was the first overall. Oh no, he was the first out of the three. And do you think he was worth it? Do you think he was worth the first in the end?
I mean, I don't think he's the first. I don't think he's the best quarterback of the 2004 class. I think he's worth the pick, sure. He brought 2 world championships to New York. I mean, Philip Rivers didn't bring any championships to
San Diego.
San Diego. I mean,
now,
sure, Ben Roethlisberger.
Do you think Ben Roethlisberger at 24? You think that was worth it?
That's good value. That is
good value.
Lucky.
Do you think he should have not fallen that far down?
I don't think he should have fallen that far down. I think he could have easily been picked first. If they redid this draft class, he probably would be picked first.
All right. But you know, when you talk about Hall of Fame worthy and Eli Manning, it's a big, you know, half-half. But when you talk about someone like Ben Roethlisberger, who has probably had a similar career to him, maybe more successful. You know, he also has the 2 rings. He has 6 Pro Bowls, and he was Offensive Rookie of the Year. But he's also more consistent than Eli Manning. Now, you could say he was always with a better coach, better receivers, but I just think Ben was always more accurate.
Yeah.
I think he was always more consistent, and I don't know. I just think he was a better leader overall.
Did have some allegations. Guess that's not really a stat.
Yeah, but that doesn't affect his greatness.
No.
I mean, he's a great quarterback. I think Ben is a guaranteed Hall of Famer because he has the regular season stats that Eli Manning doesn't.
Yep. But I mean, Philip Rivers compared to
Philip
both.
Rivers.
What do you think?
He's
You think
a
he's
little
worth? Well, I don't know. What pick did he get picked at? I'm not actually sure.
I can tell you right now. Philip Rivers was in the 2004 draft. He got picked 10th.
10th. Okay. That's good. That's good value. I mean,
Yeah,
I would
I
say
think-
that's fair. And
Yeah.
I mean,
he got the 2013 Comeback Player of the Year.
mhm.
He has 8 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
I say he's pretty consistent regular season, but it's the fact of his absentee in the postseason that does set him back. Now, he's also had horrible coaching.
Horrible coaching, horrible team.
I mean, a team. I wouldn't say he had always a horrible team.
Sure, it's not always horrible, but this year, season.
Well, in 2009 to 10, he had the #1 ranked offense and defense, and he missed playoffs.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every day. That's interesting.
I mean, they were lacking the special teams, but I mean, that's Philip Rivers had almost everything in his favor, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now, was it exactly his fault? I mean, I don't. But he's had more than 5 head coaches, and offensive coordinators. I think in his whole career,
Hmm.
but he's never missed a game. So he's
True.
always been there. He's always been there, but I don't think that matters.
Consistency is key.
It is key, and he was always there for San Diego, and the Colts went for that 1 year.
Hmm.
And surprise, surprise, 1 year's on the Colts, they make playoffs. Now you
Hmm.
can debate it was that amazing defense, or you
Amazing
could say it was
defense,
Philip
amazing
Rivers.
offensive line.
I mean, exactly. But I mean, looking at that year, he still got 4,000 yards and a good 24 touchdowns.
Hmm.
So Hall of Fame worthy. It's a little harder on his side because he doesn't. I mean, wins his whole career. It's kind of cutting it a little close. 134 to 106.
That is better than Eli
It's
Manning,
still.
though.
It is. It is. I think they all make it. I don't think Philip Rivers is the first ballot. I
No.
think Ben is, and I don't think Eli should, but I think he will be.
First ballot? Or
Yeah, I
just
don't
Hall of
think
Famer in
Eli.
general?
I talking if we're talking first ballot, I think Eli Manning will make first
Okay.
ballot. He doesn't deserve it,
Hmm.
but he will. Ben, I think, deserves it and definitely will get it. Philip Rivers, I don't think will get it.
I
And
think he'll
he'll make
be.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I
He'll
think he'll be
make
one of
it.
the guys that get in and they're like 75 years old and they're just like, oh,
I
nice.
wouldn't say maybe
Maybe
like
not. Okay, not that old. I hope he
maybe
gets
like in
in.
2000. I hope he gets in. He's a great player because he did make an impact on the Chargers.
Yeah.
He did. But he's fifth. He's fifth all time in passing and like passing yards and passing touchdowns. He has the stats. It's just he can never make it. He can never win games that mattered.
Yeah.
For example, he led the league in interceptions twice, but he also led the league in uh yards 1 year, which was the year he had number one offense. Still missed playoffs. But since 2013, he's always had over 4,000 yards. So offense wise and passing wise, he's great,
Yeah.
but can never win. Eli Manning, on the other hand, could win. So there's a big difference in all those players.
Hmm.
It's very weird because there are a bunch of key factors you have to put in. I mean, you can cherry pick stats that to help someone's case, but when you look at the big picture, I think out of the 3 quarterbacks, it definitely would go Ben first, and I honestly, I don't know.
Hmm.
I maybe if I had to rank them, I think everyone would put Ben first. Would you?
I think I'd put him first. Yeah. Out of just
Yeah.
pure like, just
Mhm.
even know. I don't even know. Just yes. I'd put him first.
I think I'd have to put Eli at second because of what he has done that most
Yeah.
quarterbacks probably couldn't have done.
The 2 Super Bowls definitely bump his rating up. I
No, it
bet.
definitely does. It
Yeah.
definitely does.
I mean, it
But
has to impact
his
something.
win loss, his win loss, and his like I don't know. He's the weirdest quarterback. I'm because yeah, I don't know.
I think he's just lacking efficiency. Like he
Yeah.
has, let's see, for his all-time pass attempts, he has 8,119, and Philip Rivers has 8,134. That's only like a 15 that's only like a 15 attempt difference. But the thing is, Philip Rivers has 6,000 more passing yards and like 60 more touchdowns. So just like the efficiency,
Mhm.
Philip Rivers is so much more than Eli Manning.
Yeah,
Is Eli Manning
and
the third best quarterback? Instead,
I don't. I mean, Eli also had a better coach, I'd say,
sure.
in a more sustained coach, stable coach, consistent coach, I should say.
Hmm.
But the thing, and I could say this about all of them, but Eli Manning was never considered a top quarterback any year.
Yeah.
You could say maybe top five, maybe when he won the Super Bowl, top 5, like top 10.
Number one though.
Big Ben. I don't think I technically don't think any of them
Yeah, no.
would be considered. But is that their fault? No. It's simply the time they played in with Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Like that's kind of hard to compete against.
Yeah, you're not being top 5 with those people in front of you. Even Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, Brett Favre, I guess, for a couple years.
Yeah. But when Big Ben won those 2 Super Bowls, he definitely was up there in the ranks.
Hmm.
But Eli Manning was never one of those quarterbacks. He would briefly make top 10. And then Philip Rivers, I mean, I think he's just around the top 10.
I think Eli could stay like a solid top 10, maybe like 9 or 10. But
It
just
also
like
depends what year you're talking
sure,
about.
just yeah, year.
Yeah. But like no every year he's never I don't think Philip Rivers or Eli Manning were top 5. I think
Yeah,
Big
no.
Ben could have been top 5 multiple years. That but Eli Manning, I don't think so.
No, yeah.
That's it's kind of I wouldn't even compare Eli Manning to Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco when he was in the postseason, he broke records.
Hmm.
I mean, Eli in the postseason was good, but he didn't break records like Joe Flacco did.
Yeah.
He just simply won, which is good.
Sure.
But yeah. But anyway, I mean, if you compared Eli Manning to a personal favorite of mine, Matt Ryan, I think you would see, well, in my opinion, I think you would see notable differences. Maybe hinting the better quarterback in Matt Ryan. I don't know.
Hinting towards the one-time All-Pro and 20 league MVP, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
Yep.
Matt Ryan, 4 Pro Bowls, an All Pro, which none of the 2004 QBs have. May I add, or they don't have an MVP either.
Yep. That's surprising.
He has a Rookie of the Year, so Matt Ryan started immediately, and he Offensive Player of the Year. So Matt Ryan has a lot of alkaloids. He just doesn't have the ring, which definitely puts him back a little bit.
28 to 3.
But statistically,
You guys remember
oh,
28 to 3, their Super Bowl loss
yeah,
when he fumbled?
okay,
Remember that?
okay, you get it.
Yeah.
But statistically, Matt Ryan is amazing. He has so many stats to his name that, you know, you can talk about. Let's, like, completion. He's always completed the ball. Like, he has a high percentage complete
He's the highest
completion.
out of the 3 we were talking about. He has 65.4.
Yeah. And so, Matt Ryan, he has had 10 years now where he's thrown for over 4,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. In a row.
That's in a row,
Yep.
since 2011. He is consistent. That is a QB that is consistent. I think he's the most consistent out of the 2004 draft class. He's more
Yeah.
consistent than all 3 of them.
Yeah,
I'd say he's more consistent than, yeah.
What year is he after 2008?
2008, he was the 3rd overall pick.
The thing is,
But
which is surprising, he is right behind Ben Roethlisberger in pass attempts. Is
yes.
weird to say the least, because he's drafted 3 years, actually 4 even.
After.
4 even after, yeah.
Yeah.
Is, you know.
And you gotta remember, Matt Ryan also never had stable coaches.
Sure, sure.
He went from coach to coach. He had Kyle Shanahan as his offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He had Dan Quinn, which I mean, those were like in his I'd say his prime.
Yeah.
But even then, that's not really. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's something you brag about.
But I mean, I feel like Matt Ryan, he did not have a run game at all. So he gets to build those stats up easily. Well, not Eli Manning necessarily, but Philip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, the best running back in the league for years, he had to share, which, I mean, contributes to his lack of touchdowns and yards. Not necessarily lack. Actually, he is the best out of all three, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I think Philip Rivers would do better if he didn't have LaDainian Tomlinson, but he wouldn't do.
Yeah, but when you say that about Matt Ryan, can you really blame him, or you
Well,
can blame
no, sure, exactly.
the
I'm
organization?
not blaming him. I'm just saying that definitely improves his odds for being in the Hall of
No,
Fame.
no, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
But that
helps.
just shows that he can pass. He can do
No,
his
yeah,
job as
sure,
a
yeah.
quarterback. Yeah, definitely.
He can do his
Because
job and he can
if
lead
you're
his team.
if you're a bad quarterback and you're a main passing, like if your team is a main passing team and you're still not getting good stats, then that doesn't say anything about the organization, but that says something
Yeah.
about you as a quarterback.
Trying to think of an example. I can't really think of any.
Well, Baker Mayfield,
Baker
he's in a
Mayfield,
run
right?
heavy game. He's a
Run
run
heavy.
heavy game. He still gets the stat. I mean, this is his third year. He is. I think he's always had like around 3,000 yards, which is great.
Hmm.
I think he's done really good given his situations. But they're a run heavy game, so you're not going to be expecting like 4,000 yards playing like 35 touchdowns. You're not going to be
Yeah.
expecting that.
I mean, you're sharing with Nick Chubb, who got like 10 touchdowns, something
Yeah,
like that. Kareem Hunt,
and
who's not that good.
one of the best O lines.
One of the best O
So of
lines.
course they're
Yep.
going to want to run. I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
And then Baker still managed to do really good.
Yep. I wouldn't say top 10, top 15. At the
Yeah,
higher end of the
but
top
that's not
15.
his fault.
That's not his
That's not
fault,
his
no.
fault though.
But that's even good.
No,
That's good, I think. Top
I know
15.
that adds to a situation.
Yeah, no. Situation.
But
But
Eli Manning, Eli Manning, he was in a, I'd say pretty much passing game. He had
yeah.
some run game, but and his defense was pretty good. But I think he was the main passing game.
Hmm.
So, and he gets the stats for it. It shows top 10, and he's top 10 in most of those things.
Hmm.
But consistency is a big thing in games.
Yep.
Accolades or like accomplishments; those are big things. And I mean, Eli has it, but when you're talking strictly Hall of Fame, it can get a little tricky
I mean,
because there's so many factors.
you can't say Super Bowls are his.
No,
Other than that,
I do, I do think they were kind of his
well,
though.
he helped obviously. I mean, whoever wins Super
No,
Bowl is helping.
I know what you mean. In
Yeah.
most occasions, you can't always base off Super Bowls, but
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Well,
Like,
sure.
you can't take that away from him. Like that's he did good in those Super Bowls.
I mean, you gotta just. He doesn't have an All Pro. I mean,
Well,
that doesn't
yeah,
necessarily matter, but
I know Pro Bowls don't matter. I
Pro
think
Bowls
all
don't matter. But he only has.
I think all
4.
pros kind of matter.
Well, I think all pros do matter because that's not just based off the fans. That's based off of like
Exactly.
the NFL
Your
deciding
skill.
who's the best. Yeah,
Hmm.
which is pretty big.
It is big. And you gotta when you talk about the QBs and their skills, you also gotta talk about competition.
Yep.
Now, we talk about the three 2004 draft quarterbacks, and you can even say Matt Ryan.
Hmm.
Uh, let's see. I think Philip Rivers had a lot of competition. I think he probably had the most competition out of all of them.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, Alex Smith, Derek Carr, I mean, you know, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
So that, I think Eli. I don't think he had that much competition.
NFC East is not great. Never been that
I mean,
great.
Washington. I mean, you could say Cowboys, and then maybe later in his career, maybe the Eagles. Washington's always just been like, Big
Yep.
Ben. You know, he always had the Bengals and Browns, so he never really had to worry. He had the Ravens, but
The Ravens, who
and then yeah,
I don't know.
and then if you want to say Matt Ryan, I mean, Saints they didn't really have to worry. I mean, no, Saints. No. I mean, Bucks you never had to really worry. Saints were their main competition.
Yeah, Panthers. I mean, sometimes they had to worry. Kind of depends.
Yeah,
Like their
but the thing is,
2015.
with Matt Ryan, I don't think he was ever number one in his division.
Yeah.
I
No.
think Eli. I think I'm gonna say Eli was probably the top of his division. I think Ben was top of his division.
Hmm.
Philip Rivers could be debated. I think.
I think Big Ben could be the
I
top of
think-
his division at this. I mean, debated at this point. I mean, Lamar Jackson
Oh yeah.
definitely better.
Well,
My
now,
opinion.
yeah, but I think Alex Smith may have had more
Yeah.
success than Philip Rivers
Colin
when he was
Kaepernick.
on the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's
Mm,
actually dumb.
it's
Forgot
fine,
I said
fine.
that. He just
Both
warped
of
my
our
brain.
teams. Both red teams.
Yeah,
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 I get
yeah.
it.
You weren't my brain because Alex Smith on the 49ers, and then I started
Oh
thinking about
yeah,
the
yeah, that too.
49ers, and I started thinking about Colin Kaepernick, and I was like,
It's okay. No, but
anyways.
yeah. But Eli Manning as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't know what to say. I just is he a top 10 QB all time? No, of course
Of course
not.
not. Was
Hall
he
of Fame?
Hall of Fame?
I mean, we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Well,
Because when does he get in? I mean, when can he get inducted? Like 2023,
when did he retire? 2017, right? 2017 he retired?
2018,
2018.
2018.
So yeah, 2023. I think he'll probably get it. First
I
ballot.
don't know.
I mean, who even retired in 2018? You
I
have to
think
think
Andrew
about
Luck
that.
retired then.
Andrew Luck, yeah, that's true. I think he'll definitely get it.
But and I'm not a big fan of Eli Manning because Patriots man, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, even as a Falcons uh, accomplish, or I mean, whatever the word is,
Mm-hmm.
as a Falcon, I don't want to say fan, but he destroyed the Falcons in the playoffs for in the wild card. That was a brutal.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal, but he did it, and you gotta give the man credit. You can't discredit him for
Yeah.
all he's done. He's put the talent and work in for the Giants organization.
Yep.
But the talent he's put in, first ballot Hall of Fame worthy, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can leave your thoughts in the comments below wherever you're
You can even
watching.
leave it. You can tweet us on Twitter
Tweet.
about your thoughts.
Go to
Exactly.
YouTube. Go to SoundCloud. Spotify does not have a thing for comments, but
Or whatever.
I mean, I think that's basically. We should end this episode off here.
Um, we should, but I want to talk about one thing really quickly.
Okay.
It's about postseason.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about consistency and being able to win, Eli Manning made the postseason 6 times, I believe. I think Big Ben made it 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big part of a QB. The ability to make postseason.
Yeah.
You could talk about competition and, lack of run game. But I think if you can manage to make postseason, bring your team to postseason, you're a great quarterback. Now, Eli did that. But besides those 2 Super Bowls, I'm pretty sure he was the first round exit.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he made but before Eli Manning, I think the Giants made postseason once, I believe. So he definitely had the impact.
But I mean, like, when you see that, if he made the playoffs 6 times and he won the Super Bowl twice, 1/3 of his playoffs, 1/3 of the time that he got in the playoffs will result in the Super Bowl. That's pretty good.
Yes, but there were multiple times where he could have made the Super Bowl,
Sure.
but he couldn't because he had mediocre seasons.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you see Big Ben, if he made the Super Bowl, he won the Super Bowl twice and made the playoffs 10 times, only 1/5.
Yeah.
So,
But
knows?
the Steelers and Big Ben's not really had mediocre seasons. I mean, this year even he didn't have I don't think he had a mediocre season.
Yeah,
It wasn't that bad.
wasn't that bad. What was it, like
Given
3,500
his
yards?
age,
But I guess, I
it's
mean,
not that.
I could say this season was one of his worst, but it's not bad. Just
Even
for
Philip
him.
Rivers this year. I
Oh,
mean,
sure,
of
yeah.
course he retired, but he had still a decent season. And he
Yeah.
was able to make playoffs on a whole new team. That's
Mm-hmm.
something I don't think Eli Manning could do. There's no way.
No.
But when you talk about impact, I do think Eli has that. He brought his team to the Super Bowl. I mean, he brought his team to the Super Bowl twice. No other Giants quarterback has done that. And he's the main reason the Giants have playoff wins. If
Yeah.
I'm correct, the Giants have made playoffs 7 times, 6 of those being with Eli Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Similar enough, that can be same with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has an impact on the Falcons because he brought the Falcons to multiple playoffs, that one Super Bowl appearance.
Mm-hmm.
No wins, but he still gave them the wins.
Yep.
See, you can have an impact on your team, but that's not a big impact on the league.
You can have,
Eli might be
you can have,
controversial because he won the 2 rings.
yeah, that's true. You can have an impact on your team without winning a Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah,
Like
I think
Matt
I think
Ryan, probably the
Matt
best.
Ryan, Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers,
I mean, Dan Marino,
well, sure,
Dan Marino,
yeah.
for crying sakes,
He's
he
probably the
had
best
a huge
quarterback.
impact on the
They,
office time.
yeah, top 10 all time, you could say.
He had a huge impact in the league and the
Sure.
Dolphins.
And everyone knew his name in the 90s.
Exactly.
Without even winning. Can't say the same about anyone
Mhm.
now.
Exactly. So in the end, I think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, but I don't want him to make it. But
Hmm.
given given what it takes to be a Hall of Famer, he has it, and I give him credit for it. But I don't think he deserves first ballot, and I think he could have done a lot better for his career.
Yep.
But he still had a. I still think he had a successful enough career, and I hope for the best of him in retirement. But yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer, maybe not worthy of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Okay.
think that's really it.
Yeah. So you want to end this episode off? Something you want to say?
Yeah, I think we can end it off. So make sure to we'll be uploading this. Well, by the time you hear it, it'll be Friday, and next episode should be Monday. We'll start on a regular schedule. We're gonna be doing some fun games Monday, including trivia. We'll explain that. Make sure to check out our Twitter. We'll tweet updates. We'll retweet other like things we see, big updates. Yeah, make sure to check out our new Spotify Lateralcast. Make sure
YouTube.
to add our
YouTube. I'll be making that.
upcoming YouTube. Yeah, we'll post that on. We'll tweet that.
Hmm.
Make sure to check our SoundCloud, and I think that's about it.
Yep. Well, thanks for listening or watching or whatever you're doing. And yeah.
And we'll see you Monday.
Yep.
Okay, bye.